We want to look at this question related to joint PMF, where we're given the joint PMF of X and Y. And the first part asks us to find the joint cumulative probability at X is 1 and Y is 4. First things first, there's something that we need to keep in mind. Now for part A, we need to recall that to find any probability concerning X and Y from joint PMF of X and Y that's given to us. So first we need to just recall how do we find any probability for X and Y from joint PMF X and Y, then we'll actually solve the part. We can sum up joint PMF over those values of X and Y. So say I wanted to find the probability X is greater than Y, we'll just sum up the joint PMF over all those values where X is greater than Y. If we wanted to find the probability X is equal to Y, then we just sum up the joint PMF for all those values where X is Y, right? Now let's see what we want to find in this particular question. The question is asking us to find, let's see. So the question is asking us to find the joint cumulative probability at X is 1, Y is 4. Now we want to find the joint cumulative probability. Now what does this joint cumulative probability mean? So they're essentially asking us to find this value, fx1, 1, 4. They're asking us to find its joint CDF evaluated at x is 1, y is 4, which is just probability x is less than equal to 1, y is less than equal to 4. For this, let's just go back a bit and recall something. Recall for a single random variable x, right? For a single random variable x, we define its CDF as fx of x is probability x is less than equal to x, right? So for two discrete random variables x and y, so we can define the joint CDF like this: fxy xy is equal to probability x is less than equal to x and y is less than equal to y. So for single random variable x, we had fx of x is probability x is less than equal to x. And if we have for two discrete random variables x and y, we can define the joint CDF as fxy xy, which is probability x is less than equal to x, y is less than equal to y. And this is essentially what they want us to evaluate. So now, based upon what we just recalled, we know we want to find this probability concerning x and y. So to find probability x is less than equal to 1, y is less than equal to 4, sum up the joint PMF. So we will sum up the joint PMF over all those values where x is less than equal to 1 and y is less than equal to 4. Because like we said, when we want to use the joint PMF to find any probability concerning x and y, we just sum up the joint PMF for those values of x and y. So here we're interested in the probability x is less than equal to 1 and y. Because remember, this comma means and or intersection, right? So we want to find the probability x is less than equal to 1 and y is less than equal to 4. So we'll just sum up the PMF for all those values where x is less than equal to 1 and y is less than equal to 4. So let's see what values are those in the joint PMF. This is x is less than equal to 1. Basically, based upon the values that x can take, it can either be 1 or it can be 0. And y less than equal to 4 means y can be 3 or 4, right? So basically in our joint PMF, this is where x is less than equal to 1, this is where y is less than 4. So in our joint PMF, the values which satisfy both conditions are these, right? So this is where both x is less than equal to 1 and y is less than equal to 4. So we'll just sum up the joint PMF over these values, right? So it's going to be 0.09 plus 0.14 plus 0.07 plus 0.23. And this we can see turns out to be 0.09 plus 0.14 plus 0.07 plus 0.23. This turns out to be 0.53. Right, so the key over here is to remember that when you want to use the joint PMF to find any probability concerning x and y, just sum up the joint PMF for those values of x and y. So here we wanted to sum up the joint PMF for those values which x is less than equal to 1, y is less than equal to 4, which just became this region. So we just summed up the joint PMF over these values. Because this is the probability x is 0 and y is 3. This is the probability x is 1 and y is 3. Probability x is 0 and y is 4. Probability x is 1 and y is 4. And all of these correspond to where x is less than equal to 1 and y is less than equal to 4.